Has anyone ever heard of an octa?
In this lesson, these students are looking at the relationship between cloud cover and temperature and thinking about how sample sizes can affect their understanding of this relationship.
In this session, we introduced the idea of octas. No octas would be absolutely blue, and 8 octas totally cloud covered. And we asked the students what a correlation graph would look like if we plotted temperature against the number of octas. So they thought about that on their mini whiteboards, and we talked about that. Why don't you show me what you've got? Okay, interesting. Right, if we were looking at this one, for example, how would we describe this type of correlation? A negative correlation. And what if you wanted to talk about that in context of these things here? What might we say?
The lower the temperature.
The lower the temperature,
The more daily mean cloud cover.
right, okay. Does that make a bit of sense? Most of them thought there was a negative correlation. Then there was data that was collected around Heathrow. We took samples of size 10 and found out the PMCC for these. We've taken a random sample of 10 days. And what we're doing just now is measuring the temperature here, and we're measuring cloud cover here. Does this look like what you thought you were going to see? Does it look like a negative correlation here?
Yeah, but it's very weak.
All right, okay, yeah, you've got a negative correlation, but it seems pretty weak. How big do you think this would need to be for you to be convinced that you think, all right, yeah, I think there is a bit of a negative correlation here. I think there is something going on. 0.6, and well, because we're thinking there's probably a negative correlation here, we might think something like negative 0.6. Okay. Does it depend how many pieces of data we have?
Yeah, I mean, the bigger the sample, the more accurate it will be.
What do we mean by more accurate there? What do you think we mean by that? More reliable?
Yeah,
all right,
more
okay.
valid.
Here's one sample. Maybe let's look at a couple more. That one's got a negative correlation. Ah, that one's jumped up. Would you be more convinced by that one? Now, what was interesting was, and what they didn't really realise, was just how much the PMCC would vary. Different samples were sometimes even getting positive correlations. And it really brought out this idea of like, well, actually, if you're taking a sample size 10, are you going to be able to draw any conclusions from it? What about that one?
It's pretty much no correlation.
Looks like there's not much, it's very close to zero there. So you wouldn't be convinced of much correlation in that situation.
That's
But then-
very strong negative.
Yeah, right, that, okay. But the thing is, it's like we keep taking these samples and we're getting different results every time. Do you think we can actually like get any useful information from a sample of 10 like this? I think the big message from that was often in an exam question you'll be asked to plot 10 points and make some comments on the correlation based on this. And really I think the sort of point to make was, well, actually you really need to do a lot more because you can see how much this can vary.
Did you try with bigger samples?
We didn't try with bigger samples, but we did show the whole population. There's our data there, and there's our correlation coefficient. If you're looking at the data, does it look like it's negatively correlated?
A little bit weak.
Yeah, okay, so it's not like a particularly strong one.
Moderately negative.
Okay, so a moderate kind of negative correlation, yeah, right, okay.
That was really surprising because we had an expectation that the less temperature there is, the more cloudy it will be. But that definitely wasn't the case. And I think that was very interesting because sometimes we expect things and it's not how they turn out.
So using false data, we don't we understand the concept, but we can't relate it to real life situations. Whereas you're doing it with real data, there's other factors involved. It will help us improve our knowledge and relate it into real life situations.
Again, it's giving them that critical eye, I think, and getting them saying, like, is this actually useful at all? That was quite a strong point.
If we want to advance ourselves, we want to go on and do something like this, we can't just have a very narrow mind. And doing the real life situations like this is something that will definitely stick to us, and I think it's very good.